There it is. This is episode 130 of the Battle of Ohio podcast. The Bengals couldn't get the job finished against the Chiefs this year, and oh boy, that feels bad.
Yep.
But Thomas, I don't want to hear any smack talk from you. Y'all been here for a minute, so we're charging forward into the offseason. We've also got Mikey Saints fan for life with us this week. Normally an active member of chat, but today we got him on the show with us because, you know, we got a bunch of off-season talk. So say what's up, Mike.
Yeah, why not?
And finally, even Mitch Trubisky isn't happy in Pittsburgh. I don't know if you heard about this, Thomas, but because why?
Because in a kid-friendly way, what do the kids say nowadays? Pittsburgh is still mid.
Pittsburgh's, oh my God. I don't even want to play the intro after that.
Play the intro.
Welcome to the Battle of Ohio podcast, where we follow the revival of the historic rivalry between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Cleveland Browns.
I see Matthew's already got nothing better to do with his life than come here and say nothing. I know, that's the thing. Matthew, you're a Patriots fan. You have nothing to talk about. You're a Patriots fan who's like 11 years old, so you weren't even there for the good stuff. Like chill, dude. Chill. Your team has, you have no bragging rights here.
Like, dude,
I'm pretty sure we beat your team.
Man in the world, bro.
But anyway. So first things first, say what you got to say, Thomas.
Well, first of all, I just want to thank the NFL script for that wonderful loss that the Bengals has taken. I want to thank all the Browns fans who went to Cincinnati and rooted for the Bengals because they felt like it was just the right moral thing to do. You guys go ahead with that. I want to thank all those people. I want to thank everyone, including the Academy. I want to thank Stephen A. Smith. I don't know why, but I just want to thank you, Stephen A. Smith. That feels good. The universe is now correct again.
You know what, Thomas? That's fine. I just don't want to ever hear it again. I don't want to ever hear. Next time I come on the podcast, I'm like, I hope the Browns lose. I don't want you being all hurt feelings like, but Kyle, the Browns are my favorite team. Why, blah, 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 blah. Like, no, fuck you. Fuck you.
No. Generally, I'm good about it. Generally, I'm rooting for your team. Like, generally I am. It was just like how annoying it was. Like, Mikey, you understand how annoying it is to live in Ohio and to see the other Ohio team go to almost back-to-back Super Bowls while your team is the laughing stock of the earth? The entire circumference of the earth, man. Like every single tectonic plate on this earth, we were a laughing stock. And the Bengals going to the Super Bowl. That's a Bill Nye science guy.
I mean, my division team was in the Super Bowl just a couple years ago and won it. So
that's it. It's great.
In my life.
Just a couple
it's great.
Ago.
I listened to all the Buccaneer fans talking about how they blew out the team.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, but see, here's the thing, like Buccaneers fans really don't have any, like, can't really talk any smack. They won in 2002, and you give them credit for winning in 2002. But outside of that, the Buccaneers have been a trash franchise. Tom Brady shows up and saves the day, but they're going to go back to being trash.
I literally made a video about him retiring, and I called them sucking ears in the title. That was a perfect.
Yes, second ears are mid.
Yeah,
second ears. I like that. Second ear.
If only the Browns were mid, that would be better.
The second ears.
Yeah, I just thought of the name, bro. I was going to put Buccaneers in the title, but I was like, now they suck. Let me put that in the title.
Oh man, that's great. It's second ears.
Screw you.
You're a Saints fan, right? Yep. You know, you guys got our defensive.
a couple
You
years
guys
ago.
you guys got a defensive coordinator, so
Yeah.
good luck with that.
Yeah. I don't know who. I didn't look at the names yet. All I know that we got a couple. I know one of our co-defensive coordinators went to Atlanta. Of course he did. And when somebody else went, I don't know if he got a job yet, but hey, we got a first-round pick from Denver, so I'm pretty happy about that. And yeah, the Saints they've been going up this offseason, even with Tom Brady going back, even though Frank Reich went to the Panthers, I'm still not happy about that. Falcons haven't done anything yet.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
No, the Falcons went to the Super Bowl twice and got embarrassed both times.
At least we won ours.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Y'all didn't even win yours.
That's fair enough.
We beat Peyton Manning in our Super Bowl. Y'all also John Elway and Tom Brady.
By the way, Kyle, he makes a good point. John Payton did go to Denver.
Yeah, what about it?
That don't scare me, if I'm being real with you.
I think it could be a really good thing. I could see like Sean Payton.
Wilson shows up.
I'm not
I could
afraid
see Sean
of Russell
Payton
Wilson
being the right guy for Russell Wilson,
Like,
is it going to fix it next year? I don't know, but like they seem committed to those guys in the long run. I think they'll figure it out eventually.
Yeah, like we had Sean Payton for a while, and from my time watching Sean Payton coach the New Orleans Saints, we've had some shaky games, where
but you also had Jameis Winston at quarterback.
Exactly.
I mean, you also.
And if you want to be honest, the last season of Sean Payton's career as a New Orleans Saints head coach, he brought Jameis Winston from one of the laughing stocks of the NFL to honestly, we were like 6-2 when he was our starting quarterback, and then that's
eye surgery.
But yeah, where he had 5 touchdowns the first game, he didn't play good the second game because literally every single coach on our team had COVID. I don't know why. And then week 3, he showed up for 4 touchdowns against your Patriots, Matthew. And then
take that, Matthew.
Yeah, against the Giants, he was decent. We beat the Seahawks the next week. He was decent. And then obviously got injured against the Buccaneers, which is why I will always hate the Buccaneers. Screw you, Devin White. Screw you, Mike Evanson. Screw you, Buccaneers.
Yeah, screw you, Buccaneers.
Yes.
All right. So, Thomas, I want you to tell me what is the one thing, if you had to pick one thing, what's the one thing the Browns have to do this offseason? If they do that, then they'll be good next year.
Okay.
And you can only pick one thing. I'm sure there's probably a lot.
Just one thing. Just one thing. Okay. So I'm not going to say anything about, honestly, if the Browns don't touch their offense at all, I would not be mad. I would not be mad if they just ran everything back. I do want them to add more. I just don't want to be. I wouldn't be mad. What the Browns have to do is they got a new defense coordinator. They need to fix that defensive line. Yeah, we gotta get some. We gotta do better, man. We got Myles Garrett, and then we have a good. What
is Clowney coming back? Next question, please.
No, he's not. So we need to give Myles Garrett some help, but we just need to just do more up front. We need more linebackers, man. We got no linebackers. We're all our linebackers.
What happened to JOK?
What happened to Deion Jones?
So JOK got his he hurt his foot. Deion Jones, he's solid. He's solid. He just haven't really. He can't. Yeah, he can't. Well, he came in halfway through the season. He still haven't really got a rhythm. Joe was. He was a horrible defensive coordinator. You'll learn that in the future about how bad Joe Woods is. So get ready for that. Yeah, Joe Woods has been hired the head coach in New Orleans, or the defense coordinator in New Orleans.
Rest in peace, Mikey.
Yep, I'm sorry about your defense, man.
I couldn't get any worse. Sink the ship.
Y'all hired a fired Cleveland Browns head coach. That worked out for everybody.
I think you just ruined my night.
Y'all are going to have a great secondary. You just won't be able to do anything else.
Mikey, but you just remember this, though. There was upon a time the Cleveland Browns fired a guy by Bill. Bill, after he got fired by the Browns, was offered a job by the Jets. He turned down that job with the Jets, became the head coach for the New England Patriots, he would go on to win 6 Super Bowls. Every other coach that got fired by the Browns since then have done literally nothing.
I mean, that was like the same boat.
I don't think Joe Woods is going to be winning 6 Super Bowls.
That was the same boat. He was the offensive coordinator for I think Dallas and New York, and then he became Saints head coach to win a Super Bowl for 16 years. And I was in Denver, and I wish you the best success in the world. I hope that you bring a Super Bowl to the Broncos. But other than that, Champagne, maybe a 3rd-round pick. That was enough help. Just go do what you did with the Saints, man.
Yeah, Super Bowl next year belongs to the Bengals.
Super Bowl next year. The Super Bowl next year it belongs to the Browns.
Obviously, I do want the Bengals to win the Super Bowl. But after the Bengals win it, then I want the Broncos to win it, just so Champagne can win a ring with 2 franchises.
You know what? That's fine. After the Bengals win it, the Broncos can win it. I'm willing to make that deal.
I see you laugh. By the way, I put $30 down on the Browns for the Super Bowl. It's a $1,350 payout for the Browns for the Super Bowl. So I really do hope the Browns win the Super Bowl. But second of all, Kyle, Mr. I'm going to laugh anyway. You got to realize, man, Deshaun Watson's going to come back next year. He's going to be great. And I like y'all got to stop sleeping on that guy. He got talent. What's going to happen is he's going to ball out next year. They're going to be like, oh, well, that Deshaun Watson guy is pretty damn good. Yeah, that's what I've been telling you for a hot minute. I feel like a crazy man. I feel like DiCaprio and freaking Don't Look Up, where he's telling everybody that a meteor's coming, and nobody's like, I don't see no meteor. The Browns got Deshaun Watson with a great offensive line, Nick Chubb, and give them one more receiver, and that offense is going to be really hard to stop. Hit me up, Brandon Cook. Here's my number. You know what I mean? Come on, man. And then you got to revamp that defense. The Browns revamp that defense. They could be anybody in the NFL.
If it works right away, that's the thing.
They got 17 weeks. 17 weeks in the offseason.
17 weeks, but if you don't get a hot start in week 1, then those remaining 17 weeks get harder and harder.
I told myself that.
I mean, he did go. He went 3-3, Cal. After missing 2 years, he still managed to go 3-3.
I told myself that too. I talked into all that hope just to get burned down this season. You know how much people I've told that the Saints were going to win the Super Bowl last year? So
I hope not many. No offense.
I know about 10 people. So
okay,
a lot more.
So Thomas, and again, no offense, Mikey, but the teams that Deshaun Watson beat were the Steelers,
yeah. Okay. I lost his Steelers.
Not me.
Did Deshaun
You lost his
you know what? Okay, I'm looking at the wrong schedule.
The Texans, the Ravens, and the football team.
So the Texans, first of all.
Yep.
The Ravens, with you beat them 13-3. This was not an accomplishment.
It was cold and windy and raining.
That was a defensive game. That's nothing to do with Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, we won.
And then you beat Pittsburgh at the end of the year. Okay, congratulations.
We didn't beat Pittsburgh at the end of the year.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Y'all didn't.
We lost Pittsburgh.
I don't know why I keep saying that. You beat Washington, which actually is a little bit more impressive. But Deshaun Watson only threw for 169 yards too.
He threw 3 touchdowns in the second half. He went off in the second half.
What happened in that first half?
He was getting in his rhythm.
He was getting in his rhythm. Look, man. It also kind of helps a lot, Thomas, that Carson Wentz threw 3 picks and proved.
Look, Kyle. All right, so I don't know how you were on this whole he's gonna be rusty thing, and now you're like, this is what I don't understand about people. This is what I don't understand. This is why I hate this whole, because they be like, oh yeah, well when Deshaun Watson comes back, he's gonna be rusty anyway. So then they're like, oh, he looks so bad. You just said that he's gonna look rusty. You literally just said he's gonna be rusty for 11 weeks, and then when you're right, you're just going to be more of an asshole about that. Fuck you, media. Oh, I'm sorry. I said I would have cussed in front of a little kid. I'm
sorry. He watches our channel. He watches my channel.
All right. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Fuck you, media. So anyway, like I was saying, and do it all the time. How are we gonna be like, oh, he's a great quarterback, but he's gonna be rusty though. And then when he shows that he's rusty, but he also shows potential of his own self, and then he plays well, you guys are like, well, he's never gonna be good again. Really? He ain't gonna be good again. This guy went a year and a half without playing. You didn't say this, but the media did. Fuck you, media.
No, I meant right now. I wasn't saying he's never going to be good again. I was saying it might take him a minute.
Yeah.
Hey, Mikey, don't repeat these words to your mother, please.
Your point was that it's a 17-game season, and my point was that's fine, but all 17 games matter, and there's only 17 games.
All right, look. All I'm saying is that he came in at the end of the season. He had everybody was up to speed halfway through the season. He was just getting started. He still threw 7 touchdowns, ran for 2. He still won 3 games. He still treaded water. And that short amount of time to prepare and that short amount of time to be with the team. And while everybody was at full speed, he's still able to catch up. Just saying, he'll be fine.
I think we'll beat him too.
Category 4 coming for y'all.
We'll see. I just don't
and
know.
And the Saints had a chance to get Watson, but honestly, no, I don't care who it's our quarterback no more.
I just don't know if I mean, like the Browns got a lot of work to do. Like Deshaun Watson, even playing at Deshaun Watson's potential, like I mean, you saw I've said this before, but you saw like what happened in Houston near the end. Like the Browns have a lot of work to do. Like regardless of Deshaun Watson.
You never had an offensive line like that.
Because we all got to focus on the defense, or we got to focus on our offense.
We never had an offensive line like Houston did.
Hey, y'all got the GOAT behind center, so I want to hear it.
Oh.
Speaking of the GOAT, the GOAT just retired.
Yeah.
So
Lamar Jackson is retired?
No. AJ Green.
Never come back.
AJ Green just retired.
I did hear AJ Green retired.
AJ Green retired too. Didn't I know? Yeah, I knew JJ Watt retired, but I didn't know AJ Green followed the same shit.
No.
He's still throw the ball to now.
What do you think, Thomas? Is AJ Green a Hall of Famer?
I
don't know.
7 Pro Bowls seasons, 12 season played. He wasn't like that.
He wasn't like one of these dominant receivers that like
he was never dominant though.
No,
like he was always good.
He was though for like 3 years. He was dominant.
3 years.
Yeah, but
that's the thing. His
Hall of Fame's like
his prime didn't last as long as it could have.
Yeah, in my opinion, a Hall of Famer, this is different. Like the people that are not in the Hall of Fame are still good sometimes, but AJ Green, like. In my opinion, in order to be a Hall of Famer, you have to be your prime has to last at least 5 to 6, maybe even if you get lucky enough 7. Basically, you have to be good without your entire career. Like for example, I know AJ Green plays receiver and Tom Brady plays quarterback, but for example, Tom Brady, man, he was electric his entire career from start to finish. Well, obviously this last season, but this season never happened. Okay, but Brady, he played good, but AJ Green. Obviously he was
Joe Thomas
receiver. Nobody's gonna take that away from him. He wasn't this bad, washed up receiver. When he went to Arizona, he wasn't that good either. But with Bengals, he was really good. But just Hall of Fame good, I don't know. I think we're pushing the ship to that one.
Okay, so
I'm looking up his stats right now.
Isaac Bruce just made it to the Hall of Fame, and AJ Green was twice the receiver Isaac Bruce ever was. Not that Isaac Bruce wasn't amazing. I'm just saying AJ Green's career was twice that of Isaac Bruce's. Now, Isaac Bruce won a Super Bowl, but point is AJ Green, for being as dominant as he was at one time. Now, granted, I think part of the issue is, he got hurt in 2018 and kind of seemingly never really recovered. So you've got basically 2011 to 2015 was really when AJ Green was the real AJ Green. That's when this Hall of Fame career was. And outside of that stretch, it's he was still good in 16 and 17, but after 15, you really kind of saw a drop off from AJ Green. And that's where, I think it could be, I don't think he's a first ballot Hall of Famer by any means. But, Mikey, you said there are a lot of people that don't make it in the Hall of Fame. Blah. There are 365 people currently in the Hall of Fame. There's a lot of people in the Hall of Fame. There's going to be a lot more people
is not a lot.
to get into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
They draft that every year.
AJ Green is absolutely one of the, by the time AJ Green's eligible for the Hall of Fame, there's going to be 450 people in the Hall of Fame. And AJ Green is absolutely one of the 450 best players in NFL history.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that.
Maybe.
No, not maybe. He absolutely is. Now,
I think if he does get
I'll take Josh Gordon over him. I'll take Josh Gordon over him. Josh Gordon just...
No, hell,
we got
absolutely.
We got kids on the show.
No,
we got kids on the show.
Like that. No, Josh Gordon is AJ Green's way better than Josh Gordon. I know what you're talking about.
Wait, hold on.
AJ Green's potential was higher than Josh Gordon, and he actually followed through.
Did you not see Josh Gordon have 300 yards in 2 games?
Yeah,
with Brandon Weeden as his quarterback, it was about the same thing I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, that was awesome. If Josh Gordon had done that a lot more often, sure.
Yeah,
Josh Gordon was really, really, really good for a little tiny bit of time, and he kind of screwed his own career over.
I'm sorry. I can't laugh. Because I want to say what I want to say. We got a kid on the show. But he had to be on something to do that. He went off against State. I was like, dang, this man.
There's a difference from being good for a couple years to a couple of games. Let's be honest.
Oh my God.
That's what I'm saying.
The only thing that stopped Josh Gordon was Roger Goodell.
Have a great career.
The only thing that stopped Josh Gordon was Roger Goodell.
Yeah,
well, that and the fact that he couldn't get out of his own way. We can argue about whether the NFL should be suspending people for weed or not. I've heard that there may have been some other things going on beyond just the weed, but
yeah, there were
all we really know for sure about is he failed, for a bunch of weed tests and everything like that. But the fact of the matter is, stop smoking weed. It's not that hard. It really isn't. I've smoked a ton of weed in my life, and it's not that hard to just stop.
Mama, I go to church every Sunday.
Don't do drugs, kids. You too, Mikey. But
I go to church every Sunday.
I don't.
We picked a horrible episode to have that conversation.
I go Saturday.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. I go to church in the morning on Saturday, bro.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing, Thomas. I haven't smoked weed in probably 5 years. You know why? Because I'm an adult with a fucking job. Josh Gordon knew better.
Well, that was something.
We can talk about whether the rules should have been changed. We can totally have that conversation. But the rules were what the rules were, and he got in his own damn way. It's not that hard to stop smoking weed. It really isn't.
Yeah, it was 4 days and drink some orange juice, you'd be fine. Just take a walk.
Right, bro, Josh Gordon could have been so much. Josh Gordon could have been one of the greatest to ever play. That's the potential.
Antonio Brown.
Well, Antonio Brown actually had a career. Antonio Brown has a Hall of Fame career, by the way.
Yeah,
Antonio Brown.
He does.
I don't see a world where Gordon gets in.
Antonio Brown is not going to get in the Hall of Fame, but he has a Hall of Fame worthy career. But at the same time, he's going to be like Pete Rose, where people are just going to not vote for him because it feels weird for better reasons than Pete Rose, but still.
Some people just screw themselves over for that ballot.
What did Antonio Brown do that was worse than O.J. Simpson?
Worse than O.J. Simpson? He got convicted, first of all.
Dude, you love call.
I'm sorry, we picked a horrible episode to have this conversation again.
O.J. Simpson? Did Antonio Brown? Did Antonio Brown ever kill somebody?
Also, hold on a minute. When did OJ get inducted into the Hall?
He doesn't, but he did have a 2,000 yard season, and that 2,000-yard season is celebrated not just by millions of Bills fans, but also the NFL Hall of Fame. Shout out to O.J. Simpson's 2,000-yard season, and he went to Hollywood and started starring at Hearst commercials.
Okay, so O.J. Simpson was inducted in the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 1985.
He was.
He allegedly killed somebody in '94. So that was like 9 years later. So that's why he might not have gotten in the Hall of Fame if he had done that like 10 years prior.
Yeah, Brown ever killed somebody, bro? I want to know.
No, but he definitely flung a bunch of crap at his fiance, among many other things that he did.
Yeah, like taking off his shirt in the middle of a football game, bro.
Now that was funny.
Yeah,
that was funny.
Against the Jets too. The Jets were winning, and ever since that happened, the Jets never scored another point, bro.
Well, and I think they might have scored at least 1 or 2 more points.
OJ's in the Hall of Fame.
I see this episode has gone a bit off the rails, but I'll take it.
I'm sorry, that was funny.
So to get back at least somewhat, hopefully on track. So Thomas, what did you say the one thing the Browns need to do to be better next year?
Linebackers. We need linebackers.
Okay.
All of that was to get to the fact that the Browns need linebackers.
Okay. So
that's the title of the podcast episode. We need linebackers.
I'm gonna say the for the Bengals next year, for them to take it to the next level, like to win that Super Bowl. I have no idea. Because like Thomas, you remember last year I said if the Bengals fix the offensive line, they're winning the Super Bowl. And I was so right, except like they still ended up having like 3 guys go down with injuries.
Yep, they went.
Oh, sorry. What were you saying, Mikey?
They went dead.
Yeah, they went dead. Yeah,
the Bengals before we ended up having to start Hakeem Adeniji again, and then Max Sharping, and then Jackson Carman. Before that happened, the Bengals were like the hottest team in the NFL. So I think the Bengals were winning the Super Bowl until that happened. Now, I don't necessarily think the answer is fix the offensive line depth, although they do need to do that. But I mean, there's just whole lot of like I don't really know exactly. Like what there's not really one thing the Bengals need to improve this offseason. They have a lot of things that they can improve, and I see your hand raised, Thomas, but I'll get to you in a second. They have a lot of things they can improve. They have a lot of like areas that they can get better in, but quite frankly, like that team before the offensive line injuries was winning the Super Bowl. So like I mean, getting better than that. I mean, I'm sure they can. We can go get another tight end and pair him with Hayden Hurst. We can, we can go get like a defensive tackle or something and improve the pass rush. But like on the whole, I really like that team from last year. Maybe don't rely on Eli Apple to be a starter.
Yes, please don't.
But again, he wasn't. He was like Cheeto Awuzie got hurt, and that was the only reason Eli was starting. Was like he was the third string guy, but then that happened. All right, you had your hand raised, Thomas. Go.
Oh, I was just wondering, what's going on with T. Higgins' contract?
Nothing is going on with T. Higgins.
I think there's trade rumors.
Quite. Yeah, there are no real trade rumors. I have people asking me about that at work, guys. Like, this is ridiculous. Like, when I'm at my day job, people are coming up to me and asking, "What's going on with T. Higgins?" I'm like, "Nothing's going on with T. Higgins."
Oh yeah.
Nothing is going on with T. Higgins.
I've been there with Michael Thomas, man.
They're going to try to get a deal worked out with him this offseason. They may or may not. I don't know, but they have a whole nother year to get it figured out. It'll be fine. They're not going to trade him because the Bengals just don't trade people. Like that's not the way the Bengals operate. They're not going to do that. And I'm like, if they don't get an extension done yet, maybe he moves on next offseason. But he's going to be on. Like he's not getting traded. He's not going anywhere right now. He's fine. They don't have to get a deal done next offseason.
Well, T. Higgins, I'm just gonna let you know if you don't feel like the Bengals are disrespectful, just know that two
don't
three owners
you steal him from me like you stole Baby Hawk.
dude, our freaking owner got oil money. So if you want that new contract, T. Higgins, you want to stay in Ohio, you know what I mean?
Don't you steal T. Higgins from me
Hey,
the way
We
you
got
stole
oil money.
Baby
We
Hawk.
We're
oil
losing
money.
Jarvis Landry. By the way, Thomas, thank you for Jarvis Landry. But we're losing.
Yeah, you're welcome.
If you decided to leave Bengals, you come here to save our franchise.
Look, okay, you know what? If T. Higgins goes, like, first of all, I don't want T. Higgins to go anywhere. But second of all, if he goes to New Orleans, then okay, fine, you know, have a nice life. That you go do your thing. But you guys don't get him, Thomas. You already stole Andrew Hawkins from me. You don't get T. Higgins too.
Yeah, but we do anything with Andrew Hawkins.
I don't care.
T. Higgins will have Deshaun Watson.
Andrew Hawkins is a Browns fan now. That's a problem.
Man, this kid is too. But Deshaun Watson will have
No, that's not true. His kid was an AJ Green fan. That was the whole thing.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
Cardinals fan now.
But anyway, Deshaun Watson.
If it's Watson, flush it down.
Yeah, Deshaun Watson and T. Higgins would be a great be a great combination.
No, they won't.
Terrible.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Terrible.
Oh yeah, Deshaun Watson throwing those bombs, T. Higgins catching those hits like this, and then go, ooh.
Hold on, I opened my mouth a little bit. Sorry.
Just stick with the Mark Cooper, bro.
All right, are we going to talk about the Ravens and Steelers?
Yeah, I mean we're about a half an hour in now. So, Mikey, I feel like you might have an interesting perspective on this one. Where Lamar Jackson is going to go, because it seems the Ravens, and the most recent news we heard about the Ravens and Lamar Jackson is they are currently $100 million apart on which that seems insane to me. Like how much money is Lamar Jackson asking for if the Ravens are $100 million off of that mark? That can't possibly be true.
All right, so you want me to talk about it?
Well, the question I have for you is because it seems imminent that Lamar Jackson's like going to be exiting Baltimore. Mm-hmm. So, what do you think about him in New Orleans? Do you think that's a possibility?
All right. Well, I got a lot of feedback, not really on my YouTube channel because obviously comments are paining me right now. But a lot of Saints fans in general have been like, "We're going to get Lamar, like we might get Lamar Jackson," and I'm here to tell you. Shut that down. First of all, we gotta figure out a cap situation first, all right?
True.
And I know Mickey Loomis does all this stuff, even though I want him fired if this stuff does not work. You hear me, Mickey? But yeah, basically he does all this cap stuff, and then we get money, and then we spend it, but first of all, we gotta get our cap situation first, and then after we do that, then we can look at our quarterback, but. All I'm here to say is that Lamar, he's not going to want to play in New Orleans. He's not going to want to touch New Orleans because this is why. I feel like Lamar wants to go to a place that has like a good scenery and a good coaching staff. The Saints don't have that. We got Dennis Allen, Pete Carmichael, and nobody else. And those two guys I just named, they suck, bro. Because I've watched 17 games of this franchise or of this team. Like last season, they were dog water, bro. I literally vomit when it was at the Saints Bengals game, or I almost vomit, bro. So I'm here. So if there's any Saints fans watching right now, which I don't think is happening because I barely see any. I'm like the only Saints fan in the comments when I'm watching the show.
Well, you got Saints fans.
But yeah, if you are watching this and you're like, we're gonna get Lamar Jackson, I just want you to shut up because hope is not a thing in New Orleans. I've had plenty of hopes that we're going to get a guy like Clowney, Deshaun Watson. That never happened, bro. The last time I had hope was when we signed Tyrann Mathieu. That was our last good sign. And yet that worked out, but didn't work out. So Saints fans, to all of y'all that think we're going to get Lamar Jackson, he honestly might go to Atlanta, to be honest with you. But and if that does happen, just why, bro. But yeah, Saints fans, all I gotta say, don't have hope because if you don't have hope, you'll get it. But if you have hope, because for example, I did not have hope getting Tyrann Mathieu, but hey, we got him. That's all I gotta say, man.
Okay, so I agree with you and disagree with you. I
told fans not to have hope.
I've tried having hope. It doesn't work.
It's like, yo, Don't have hope, y'all. Just don't put your expectations that high. Just give up.
Be sad. Be sad forever. You sound like a Bengals fan.
I love it. Oh, I love this kid. You're
right,
great,
so
man.
I
You're
agree
great.
with you and disagree with you on some things that you said. So I agree with you that I don't think he's going to the Saints, but I don't think it's because you guys. I think it's almost entirely because of the cap situation. Because like even if the Saints find enough money to give Lamar Jackson a good contract. Well, I think Lamar wants to go where the money is. You said Lamar wants to go where there's a good team around him where he can win. And I think Lamar Jackson is going to go who's going to pay him the most. Because I think Lamar Jackson thinks that anywhere he goes is going to be a contender. I don't think he's so much worried about the team around him. And in a way, because of the style of quarterback he plays, he's kind of right. Like, look at Baltimore. Look at the Ravens roster. Without Lamar, they're trash.
It seems to not run heavy.
I know. It's great, isn't it, Cal? Yeah. But I am worried about what they can get back in return because if the Ravens turn that into like a top 5 pick, and they get one of those quarterbacks in the draft, and one of those quarterbacks in the draft can actually throw the ball, then I'm going to be concerned.
Also, Lamar, our first round pick. We don't have to give it away this easy, okay? Like we just
Lamar Jackson can't win in the playoffs.
He only won like one game. That was against the team that he also lost to. It was a crazy
game.
And in that same game, Derrick Henry threw a touchdown, which is crazy.
See, this is why. See, Mikey. This is why I like this kid. This kid is smart. This kid.
Yeah, that's the wrong direction.
This kid.
There you go.
This kid is smart. And he's right, man. He can't perform in the playoffs. I mean, too bad the Saints don't got enough cap space.
That's why people call me Mikey the Hurricane right there.
So, I mean, y'all kind of dodging the bullet there anyway. Y'all better drafting
I also don't think Lamar is going to Atlanta, though. And the reason I don't think he's going to Atlanta is because I feel like that's a pride thing for him, right? Because, if Lamar goes to Atlanta, you know what's going to happen for the rest of his entire career? It's going to be, how does he compare to Michael Vick? That's going to be the conversation the rest of his career. It's never going to be about Lamar's accomplishments. It's always going to be about how he looks compared to Michael Vick. And he might surpass Michael Vick, and there's a decent chance that he could, although maybe not at his current age. But, either way, I just don't think he wants – I think he wants to go create his own legacy without having the baggage of, the last great running quarterback or the last – probably the most electrifying running quarterback in NFL history, partially because of, the time and nobody was really doing – it with that style at the time. And so I don't think Lamar's going to go there because I don't think he wants to be compared to that legacy.
Yeah, that's true. I know he runs the ball because of Michael Vick. At least that's what he said.
Right. But I think he wants to create the Lamar Jackson legacy, not the Michael Vick.
And if he goes to Atlanta, people are just going to talk about him being Michael Vick.
Right.
2.0.
Right.
You know why Lamar Jackson hasn't got that big contract yet?
Because he runs the ball too much. He's too selfish.
Well, the answer's right in front of us, right? He was even hurt. He was hurt this year.
He was hurt last year.
You run all the risk of this running. You said it yourself. He's a running quarterback, and people were like, "Oh, well, there's so many stipulations." Well, it's a fact, and the reason why you got to look at the fact that he runs the ball so much is because he takes more hits than most quarterbacks. I'm personally somebody who wants to Deshaun Watson stay in the pocket and pass because I know that he has the ability to do that. Lamar Jackson does not have that ability to be a pocket passer quarterback. No matter, he hasn't proved it at all. He hasn't shown us ever that he can do it. Now, he can throw the ball very far and very hard. He can throw with accuracy when he needs to on the run. The problem is you cannot stay in that pocket. You cannot manipulate the pocket like Joe Burrow can, like Patrick Mahomes can, like Jalen Hurts has proved that he could.
But while he does have the ability to be accurate and he does have solid throwing mechanics at times, he also is extremely inconsistent when throwing the ball. He does not have that skill set as honed in as you really want, honestly, for an NFL quarterback. If Lamar wasn't as dynamic of a runner as he is, I don't even know if he would be a starter.
Well, yeah, but just look at it this way though, right? All right, so you're hurt this year, right? You're hurt this year. You missed playoffs. You make the playoffs, but you miss your playoff game because you're hurt. So I'm just thinking, all right, I want to invest in this guy who runs the risk of injury. And then I think about the playoff games that you did play in. What are you, 1-4 in the playoffs? I'm supposed to give you $300 million, and you're 1-4 in the playoffs. You choked every single time you showed up to the playoffs. Josh Allen didn't choke when Josh Allen didn't always choke in the play. He had proven himself in the playoffs. He had some big wins in the playoffs. Baker Mayfield got a big win in the playoffs. Patrick Mahomes got a big win in the playoffs. Joe Burrow has a big win in the playoffs. Deshaun Watson got a big win in the playoffs against Josh Allen.
Drew Brees did when he was still playing.
What was your win in the playoffs, Lamar Jackson, against the Titans?
Not to mention,
Ryan Tannehill
lost that game. First of all,
he beat Ryan Tannehill.
Right to his defense. The defense is
right to the defense. Yeah, he paid attention.
You know, if I'm Baltimore, you know what contract I give Lamar Jackson?
2 years.
I'm trading for 3 first.
100 million.
5 years, $96 million.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that'd be great for us.
Yeah.
Well, no, that's not that much money when you think about it. But you know why, Thomas?
Yeah.
Because that's the contract that the Bengals gave Andy Dalton, and Lamar Jackson is a fast Andy Dalton.
I'm mad about that. If I was the Ravens, I would trade Lamar Jackson for 3 first-round picks.
As long as it's not my team, I'm good with that.
Like that's not me being like, I have this quill against the Ravens. I'm just telling y'all, like, look, y'all not gonna win a Super Bowl with Lamar Jackson. Like the Ravens aren't, at least. And by the time you get that team together, by the time you get that boy some weapons, he's gonna be old.
Yeah, he's going to be old by running quarterback standards, too.
Yeah, trade him. Trade him now. Trade him now. Get 3 first-round picks. You guys are Baltimore Ravens. Like, this is not like the Browns. The Browns started trading away 3 first-round picks. I was okay with, because the Browns blow more first-round picks than they pick them. So go ahead, trade those picks, because we're going to blow them anyway. Just go ahead and trade those picks, man. I can name 3 first-round busts off the top of my head that are Browns. Brady Quinn, Johnny Manziel, and who was that cornerback that was taken the year that Johnny Manziel was drafted?
Brandon.
I can't think of his name, but yeah, Brandon Weed, Corey Coleman.
I've got like his Justin Gilbert.
Justin Gilbert. Oh my God, he might have been a worse pick than Johnny Manziel. I didn't even know that was possible.
Well, you see, what's crazy is that year, I was like the biggest talker about how much like Johnny Manziel is going to be a bust in the NFL. Everybody's talking about this guy too much. I was on the Johnny Manziel hate train. But you know who was one of my favorite prospects in the draft that year, Thomas?
The guy that he just
was it Evans?
No, it was Justin.
Damn.
So, like, you guys took my one of my favorite prospects in the draft that year, and also my least favorite prospect in the draft that year, and they both ended up being busts, so it worked out for me. But
yeah, I'll trade Lamar Jackson for 3 first-round picks. They
pay me as it is.
I would send 3 first-round picks to the Browns personally. If I got to see Domata Peko flash the money sign over Johnny Manziel's lifeless corpse one more time. That was such a great game.
I just want to redo the C.J. Gardner-Johnson trade. That trade literally determined our season. And I was pissed off at the time, bro. I still am.
What's going on with Marshawn Lattimore, Mikey?
Marshawn Lattimore, I know people are doing trade talks, and if that actually is true, then our season is definitely over because he's one of our only good players on our entire team. Like we got Lattimore, Tyrann Mathieu, and Kamara played awful last season. I ain't even like he didn't play that awful, but he had like his big game was like our shutout win versus the Raiders, and yet that feels like it was 60 years ago. And then obviously our quarterback situation ain't good. Our receivers, we got Michael Thomas, he might leave. But yeah, Marshawn Lattimore, he was injured last season since week 5 versus Seattle, I believe. And I don't know what happened. All I know, at one point it was a toe injury, and then one time it was a hip injury. our injury management just sucked. Okay. And then he came back against the Eagles, and he got a pick six to basically close out that game versus Minshew, which was epic. Everybody, if you were a Saints fan, you were screaming at the top of your lungs, and if you weren't, then you're a fake Saints fan, or you're just a depressed Saints fan. But then that basically ended our little win streak that we had at the end of the year. Because I know our win streak was against the Falcons, and then it was against, I think, then it was against the Eagles, then it was against the Browns, or it was the Browns, then the Eagles. Yeah, it was the Browns, then the Eagles. And then obviously we got 10-7 to the Panthers, even though Sam Darnold only threw for like 43 yards, which still pissed me off. But so basically, Marshall Lattimore, to everybody who thinks he's not at least a top 15 cornerback, you dumb. But he's definitely in my opinion, he's the top 10 cornerback easily.
You know what? I didn't have the overlay on this entire time.
Damn.
I hit big on my bets today, dude.
Nice.
I hit one bet that was $150 today, so I'm just sitting there chilling. I'm just looking at the money that I just won today. I'm like, yeah. I think I figured this thing out. But I'm trying to be careful though, because I'm up. I'm still up, but you know what I mean? Like I'm playing with fire.
Yeah, I lost that bet with the Bengals and Ravens in the wild card by like one field goal, and I went from thinking I was about to win $6,000 to like getting nothing, and I was like, all right, screw this, I'm done. No more.
Hey, at least you won your game. Every time I lose a bet, we lose the game, bro.
Well, I'll take it. It was a free bet, so I'm not that upset. But I was like, I ain't doing this.
Wait. Mike. Guess what day it is? Oh, there ain't no way you should be talking about betting.
Not yet. I think he's talking about with his friends.
No,
only bet when you're only bet for money when you're 21 or over.
No, I bet my mom's an
I just had to say that for reasons so I don't get canceled later in life.
Okay. Yeah, my mom's an Eagles fan, so I keep betting a turn. I keep getting destroyed, even though finally we got them this season. Thank God we don't got to play them next season, because I looked at our opponents. If we were to play them next season, I would literally destroy everything I can find, starting with you. Like,
wow.
I'm pissed about the Eagles, man. They took it we literally traded them a Super Bowl, bro. We're the reason that they won a Super Bowl. Yes, we are.
Which is funny because y'all weren't winning the Super Bowl anyway.
Yeah, like we traded them. C.J. Gardner-Johnson, one of the best players in this league. And if you disagree, drop your address. And second of all,
drop your address.
We traded them 50 first-round picks, bro.
Okay.
And literally, we're not going to be good for the next few years. So those are all going to be like top 15 to top 20 first-round picks. So we basically are gifting them good players unless they become draft busts, which maybe happens. But, like, dude, like, then the Eagles also had James Bradbury. Then they got Darius Slay, like, a few years ago. And then they obviously still have Jalen Hurts. Like, dude, we literally traded them the final piece of the Eagles Super Bowl run, bro.
Okay, so what's the cutoff for one of the best players in the league? Because Chauncey Gardner-Johnson's a damn good player, but like we talking top 50? We talking top 10? Like
we saw, in my opinion, like I watched him as a Saints fan. He's top 25 to top 30. Like
top
at
25,
least
top
on
30.
defense.
Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, top 25, 30 player in the league. Okay.
I mean, they did lead the league in interceptions. So.
Okay. All right. Well, I personally disagree with you that he is a top 25, 30 player in the league. And to prove it, my address is...
Welcome to the Battle of Ohio podcast, where we follow the revival of the historic rivalry between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Cleveland Browns.
So you know what? If you just want to like Dust off all that evidence I just gave you and trying to bring this nonsense coming in here about Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. And I don't know, but I just gave you a full synopsis. I hope you didn't miss it.
I mean, I think he's at least
you're the real G.
on like defense because I think he's at least like a top player on defense, bro. Like, there's nothing wrong with him.
You're the real G. You would have done the outro. And then you just would have ended the podcast right there. It would have been the greatest mic drop ever. It would have been the greatest mic drop ever. You just fumbled away the opportunity. It was great. Don't get me wrong. Great joke. Fantastic joke. But it just like, you could have just
went out with a bang. About that Chauncey Gardner-Johnson trick because you know what we only got? People might have forgotten. We literally got a 5th and a 6th round pick for a player who led the league, or at least tied it with Tariq Woolen for the league leader in interceptions, bro. He had 6 interceptions, which I think was one of, if not the league leader in interceptions. And we only got day 3 draft picks, bro. Not even at least a 3rd or at least a 4th, bro. A 5th and a 6th, bro. What are we doing? The man was literally the signature of the Saints franchise because he literally destroyed Tom Brady and kicked the Falcons logo as it was, bro.
And he's ready to trade for Odell Beckham.
Honestly, where's Odell Beckham? Can he come to play for the Saints and not go to the Rams this time? Because I'm pissed off about that signing too. That's why I told Saints fans not have hope. Because every time we have hope that somebody's going to come to New Orleans and have our franchise, you know what happens? They look the other way and go to somebody else, and then I just get pissed off and regret everything that I made for my life.
How are you going to be talking about no hope when the Saints won a Super Bowl in the last, 15 years?
You mean the game I did not watch because I physically could not watch it?
Well, damn.
That just made me feel old.
That just made me feel old.
That was 2006?
It was 2010, bro.
2010.
I was born in 2009.
Whatever. 2010. 2010, my brain exploded. That's how long ago that was.
2006 was when the city got destroyed by the hurricane, man.
You were born in 2010 and you have a cohesive conscience. That just makes me feel so old. Since the pandemic, you already experienced a third of your life. Ah, man. Man, come on, man. The Browns have a winning day since 1964, man. That was so long ago.
So we're coming up on an hour. And before we head out, Thomas, are we doing another episode before the Super Bowl? Is that happening, or is this it?
You know what? We should give our Super Bowl. We can try to do a show because I don't do anything this. No, I do have a busy week this week. I got a date this weekend. Happy Valentine's Day. No, well, actually, no.
Let's say if we can, we'll do it. But just in case we don't, let's go ahead and give our Super Bowl picks now.
I'm ready to do a video of our Super Bowl picks.
Well, I'm saying since we got Mikey here, it feels like.
All right, cool. Give us your Super Bowl pick, Mikey. We do it.
Well, this Super Bowl is literally pain because literally this is the battle between my mom's 2 favorite teams, and I do not like both of them because obviously my mom likes them. So if I had to pick, so let's see, my mom's gonna be happy either way and probably glow in my face. So probably the Eagles. I swear, now I'm gonna have to get destroyed. We could have went to the Super Bowl, Bengals, so I didn't have an Eagles versus Chiefs Super Bowl.
Yeah, tell me about it, Mikey. Tell me about how much pain you're in because the Bengals didn't make the Super Bowl.
It's not right.
All right, Thomas, who you got?
Give me Kansas City Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes is that dude. He's the best quarterback in the league. You're out here calling him Barrelhead and stuff.
Okay.
Calling him your son and everything, and then your son just beat down daddy.
Okay, listen. That was a defensive football game, first of all.
That's true.
Like it was 23-20. We're not talking about like the Bengals beat them there was like a 34-37 game between these two teams. The Bengals won that game. This was 23-20. Patrick Mahomes was running around on one leg, to be fair, but at the same time, I don't think that was like that game. It was definitely not an example of how Patrick Mahomes is a better quarterback than Joe Burrow.
The Chiefs defense got them to win.
That was an example of how the Kansas City Chiefs are a much deeper and overall more like solidly built team than the Cincinnati Bengals are right now.
To be honest, the Bengals offensive line got the Chiefs that win.
So
that might have been the difference, but so Thomas, you're saying Chiefs?
I'm going Chiefs.
Okay. I'm gonna be rooting for the Eagles, and it's not just because I'm petty. It's a little bit because I'm petty, but it's not just because I'm petty. Because my sister lives in Philadelphia, and so her girlfriend's a Eagles fan, so that's I hope the Eagles fans are happy. I guess I don't know. I hope
T.J. Gardner-Johnson gets that ring. I just wish it was with us.
Well, there you go. But I do think I said I said in my AFC Championship stream that I think whatever AFC team wins the AFC Championship is going to win the Super Bowl. So as much as like it's going to annoy me to sit there and watch Patrick Mahomes hoist the Lombardi Trophy a second time, I think it is going to be the Chiefs.
Oh.
I mean, just because I'm salty doesn't mean I can't respect the opponent.
You may be more confident about that bet I made.
That's true. You gotta respect some people.
Now, here's the thing. I'm not like totally like this is really it's a 50-50 matchup. It really is because like the Chiefs have been vulnerable at times this year. The Eagles have been vulnerable at times this year. And the Eagles at times have looked like the most unbelievably complete team I have seen in a very long time in the NFL. So we get that version of the Eagles team. Like I'm rooting for the Chiefs. I'm rooting for the Eagles not just because of all the reasons I mentioned before, also because I really like Jalen Hurts, and I want to root for Jalen Hurts. Like, I like that guy.
I just pick Eagles because of C.J. Gardner-Johnson. Hope everybody knows that.
But the Eagles also play in the NFC, and the NFC is significantly worse than the AFC. Significantly worse than the AFC.
Well, yes, but I think the Eagles still would have gone to the Eagles still would have made a deep run if they were in the AFC. They were a really good team.
An 8-9 Buccaneers team in the playoffs.
Yeah, well, yeah. So that's a thing, but where like the Eagles are not like on the same level as like the NFC is so top heavy, and then there's just a whole lot of nothing outside of like the top teams, and the Eagles are one of those top teams. Actually, I think they might be the only one.
Yeah, probably.
Like the 49ers, there's the 49ers, but
the Vikings are frauds.
We all know the Vikings, right? The Vikings are frauds. So
the Cowboys suck. The Buccaneers suck. We suck. Everybody sucks.
I'm just looking at the the Browns are 3-2 against the NFC this year.
Good for you. But one of those losses is still ass.
The only team hold up. The only teams that were under 500 against the NFC, nah, never mind. That don't really matter. That's too much. That's way too much.
All right. So Mikey, remind me what your pick was.
It was the Eagles because because of C.J. Gardner-Johnson.
Okay, so Mikey says Eagles. Me and Thomas are both saying Chiefs. All right.
Both teams can lose somehow.
I will be rooting for the Eagles, though. I will be rooting for the Eagles. I think the Chiefs are going to win. But
can we just put back a tie in the Super Bowl?
No.
Come
on, man. Look, dude.
I am of the unpopular opinion. I actually like the fact that you can tie in football, but not in the Super Bowl. You can't we can't end a championship game in a tie. That would be ridiculous.
It is when it's against you. It is when it's between your two least favorite teams.
Anyway, I think that's pretty much all we got for this episode, y'all. So thank you so much for watching. Go check Mikey out at his YouTube channel. It's just Mikey Saints Fan for Life.
Yep.
Thomas, you can check him out at T_star94 on Twitter and Instagram, and the Thomas J Network on YouTube and TikTok. Go check him out there. And me, you can find me at Kyle Phelps 92 on Twitter. I got my own YouTube channel, which is just Kyle Phelps. So just follow me everywhere you can. And I'll even though we lost, but as always, I'll leave y'all with a who dey.
Who dat?
Go Browns.
Boo.
Are you going to